I don't like the term fake news. I know journalists. They work hard. They're crucial to our democratic society. Our democracy needs them. Our democracy needs journalists. I don't believe in fake news. I don't like the term when it's used by anybody, but I do think the media has biases and agendas because they're human. And it's not just about what they write. It's what they cover and what they don't cover. That's something to always remember about journalists. It's not just what you read or what you see. It's what they choose to cover and not cover. So Jerry West, 80 years old, all-time great, the logo, former Laker, a remarkable career, still looks fantastic. I don't know what the guy's drinking or eating, but he looks fantastic. He was at the All-Star game this weekend, and he loves the NBA and thinks it's going nowhere but up. He said this.
Years ago when I came to the city of Los Angeles, we were nobody. And last page of two newspapers, had no writers, no coverage at all. And to see the way this game has changed and grown, and to see the strides that have been made for people who truly were able to contribute a different way is truly remarkable. I'm going to say this. I don't like to say things that are controversial at all, but this game is going to overtake all the other sports.
All right, I don't think it's controversial. It's his opinion. I think he's wrong. For a lot of reasons. Football's got fewer games, more urgency. It's the sport we bet. It's the tailgate sport. Games are events. There's fewer of them. They matter more. The Harris poll is something I rely on annually. It is a political and sports polling company. They probably do more polls, but I trust them. They do rolling polls throughout the year. I check on it every couple of years. Here's their latest polling. NFL, 37% of Americans call it their favorite sport. Basketball has surpassed baseball, good for it, up to 11%. Soccer, by the way, has surpassed boxing, hockey. They're now fourth. Football, by and large, is Italian food. Everybody samples it. Pasta, pizza, it's your first, second, or third favorite food. Basketball's more like sushi. People who like it love it, but there are a large number of people who just don't want to eat raw seafood. By the way, soccer is the vegan diet. Soccer fans and vegans are absolutely sure they're much smarter than you. But let me say this about basketball. The media loves it more than the public does. And I'm an NBA guy. NFL 1, NBA 2. The media likes it more. And here's why. Because the NFL is powerful. It is the number one TV show on 5 networks. Silicon Valley's bidding on it. And the media, and I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing, opposes power. The media never wants too much power in one person or one company or one industry's hands. So there is an anti-NFL component to the American media. The underdog is the NBA. It's growing. It's young. The media likes that more, protects it. And I'll give you an example. A story was broken last night by Sports Illustrated showing a frightening and corrosive culture within the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban, in my opinion, is at least partly responsible and probably more than partly. It is getting very little media coverage. 2 months ago, a similar story came out on Jerry Richardson of the Carolina Panthers. It jumped to the top of every website, blog, and sportscaster's opinion. The NFL's the bad guy. The NBA's the little guy growing and threatening the big guy. It's not just what they write or broadcast. It's what the media chooses to cover and not cover. Read the story on the Mavericks. And imagine if that was an NFL franchise and how it would be treated by the American media. My friend Nick Wright, first things first, 6:30 every morning. Okay, there's a story. Jerry West says, and you and I both love the NBA. NBA is great. I love it. I watch it, every night there's a game on somewhere in my house. Jerry West says, we are going to be the number one sport. I don't buy it for a second. You're an NBA guy. Do you?
I wouldn't dismiss it out of hand. I would remind America that over the last 100 years, 5 sports have held the championship belt, so to speak. Horse racing was the biggest sport. Boxing was the biggest sport. Baseball's been the biggest sport. Basketball for a brief period of time was the biggest sport. And, of course, football for the better part of the last 25 or 30 years has been the biggest sport. So it is somewhat cyclical. And the NBA, as the second most popular sport globally, can pull from, Kristaps Porzingis from Latvia, Joel Embiid's from Cameroon, Giannis is from Greece. You can pull talent from literally everywhere on the globe except Antarctica. And if you ask a different star, Kyrie Irving, Antarctica doesn't even exist. So they're never going to run out of players. They're never going to run out of great bodies. Where the NBA, though, is, I think, it is growing in popularity. But its risk is this. What if LeBron wins the title this year and retires? What happens to the sport? What if LeBron doesn't win the title this year and joins the Warriors? What happens to the sport? When your popularity is so dependent on one person, you're not going to catch the NFL. If Tom Brady retired tomorrow, the NFL wouldn't love it, but they would be okay. The NBA already saw this happen with Jordan's second retirement, where it went through its biggest lull that we've seen in 35 years from basically 99 to 04. Shaq and Kobe's Lakers were there. It was still at an all-time low in popularity. This is why they need Embiid and Giannis and Kristaps to hit their full potential, because at some point, no point soon, but at some point, LeBron's going to be done.
Yeah. So listen.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.